We dive into the dark where truth collides.
Forensic minds unravel the twisted thread. True crime tales from the living and the dead.
Why did they do it? To help, for love, in anger or insane? Who will remember them? Who is to blame? The victims deserve justice. The guilty should be until the end of time. Echoes of the past in every crime.
From the profiler's chair to the courtroom fight, we seek the reasons in the dead of night.
Motives buried deep in hearts gone cold. Stories of the broken waiting to be told.
Where it began, Lauren and her filler sweet 52, rocking that Botox like it's 2002. Gray baby, barely old enough to vote, found her soulmate in a true crime Reddit post. Hidden hands, touching hands over a Dateline episode about a lady in the woods, sipping root beer, screaming that could be us, befriending Lori Vallow in jail, just get her trust. You are the prairie girl of Lauren's dreams, sister wifing in the LDS scene. Mormon ghosts are nodding with approval, it seems. Dr. John said, I now pronounce you codependent. Two Karens share a bed at Amazon Prime. True crime love never felt so disordered and sublime. Ruby Frank had her vlogs and her chains. Jody had duct tape and nutritional yeast for days. Lauren's got a ring light and Needles rants about boundaries. Grayson has hidden TikToks doing sister-wife things. Both screaming, respect my authority, while the neighbors call CPS the FBI, peeking through the drapes at the strange trio at night. Be advised.
That is a great question, Maria. We'll answer that in just a moment, okay?
The victim or the stalker. Grayson traded prom for polygamy.
I just thought
Lauren
this was an
traded
appropriate song
menopause
to
for
start
a
tonight's topic.
felony. Together they're worse than Ruby and Jody. They lie to cops, slander others, cry for 9 hours, leaving Dr. John oh so lonely. So here's to John and his girls, one with filler, the other hair slick with oil.
Okay,
Both
and we're
fighting
just
age,
about finished with the
personality disorders in a collagen
We're trying to
cage.
get
May
to
your
the end.
mugshot go viral, may your GoFundMe thrive, and may Dr. John keep both of you happy. Long enough to finish the mansion and air the Netflix document you'll
All right, how was that for a Mormon Stories opera? Okay. Yeah, so the question is, did Lauren have her filler melted? Okay. The reality is that they do have melter that will like make it go away, or saw it, more likely described as kind of soften it. Um, because man, wowzer, she did get some big mamma jamma cheekbones, right? Like they just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And one night I was thinking, well, is she having like a twin kind of abscess? Like, are each of her cheeks abscessing? I don't know. And then something magical happened. Her cheekbones went away and she developed a very prominent jawline. Yeah, so it's kind of curious, the whole thing. So I don't know what happened to them. It's none of my business, but whew, I'm glad we kind of I'm glad we kind of backed away from some of that huge Molly Go Lightly giant cheeks, like the big apple cheeks, right? It definitely looks much better now, much softer and prettier. And I don't know, my opinion, it looks better. Jeffree Star and Rich Lux both pulled away from fillers. Last of the, filling up in the jowls was a bit much. Yeah, that and there you go, Cinnamon. That's something that they really didn't think was possible. They believed they would inject the filler and it would just stay there for, I guess, forever. And that is not what happens, is it? It just like gravity, it's not just your boobs that start sagging, Lauren. So does all that filler. And so fillers should, now the plastic surgeons are telling everybody, be very, very careful with the filler. It should be a small amount that you're using because it stays there, but it moves with gravity. So yeah, it migrates. That's right, DB. So, and that's something I always said about tramp stamps. I guess I shouldn't call them that. You know how for a while it was all the rage to get the real pretty ornate tattoos, like on the like at the small of your back. And then all those beautiful women getting the really pretty tattoos on their lower back, then they became 80-year-old ladies, and gravity had its way with their little tattoos, and they became very odd looking, if you will. So look, gravity marches on, people. There's nothing that will fight the forces of gravity, not even a good surgeon. So be careful what you do. Just be gentle with it. You cannot be 20 again. The best you can hope for is to sort of soften out the rough edges, right? And be proud of your age. All right, now then. So we are going to, have a discussion today. And yeah, I think that saying is kind of negative, which is why I pulled myself back, Zelda. But I think for people my age, that is, we all call them that. Everybody's like, I'm going to get a tramp stamp, which is not very nice. You shouldn't say that. But now that's not what it's called. And most of them were very beautiful and, ornate and lovely. So, I'm not trying to throw any shade or anything. People get them. That's all. Let's see. Some of us are old enough to remember the documentary on the Hindenburg. There you go. All right. So I am going to use, I'm going to use a little bit of J is for Justice. It's not J is for Justice. Every Day with J. I'm just going to use her little clip of the Mormon Stories with where Lauren was interviewed. Okay, I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'm not doing any of that. But it was just this my preference to, because I don't really want to view the original content and get struck. Because let's face it, I am probably not their favorite person right now, along with other people, not just me. So I'm going to use a little bit of this. I'm not playing this whole thing through all the way because the point of what I want to talk about tonight, it's educational. Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of education. We're gonna be Dr. Jules tonight. All right, well, maybe not Dr. Jules. Let's just be Teacher Jules tonight. Look, there is a very specific speech pattern that some people demonstrate. All right. And your ears begin to pick it up when you're confronted with these people. It's very easy pattern to pick up. Some patterns are not so easy. Some patterns, it takes experience and quite a long time kind of working through the subtleties and the nuance. But this particular pattern of speech, man, is it ever easy to hear it when you hear it. And it is a specific type of speech that has even developed just a colloquial name, name dropping, right? We all know who name droppers are, don't we? Name droppers are people that are giving you a false sense of importance. They believe that if they know someone famous, then somehow that fame will rub off a little bit on them. Or if they sat next to a millionaire in first class, then hopefully they got some of that rubbed off on them too. And they take other people's accomplishments, notability, and they believe that somehow because they were around them at one time, now they too should get that adoration. And we're going to hear a lot of name dropping. Okay. Name dropping is a pattern of speech that people do who are trying to create a false sense of exceptionalism. That the authenticity of what they're saying in no way provides them exceptionalism. And so they have to resort to saying, well, but one time I got to sit next to Elton John on an airplane, and that should get me some kind of love. I actually shared a seat with Sulu from the old Captain Kirk Star Trek. We got on a KLM flight together. It was business first. And we flew to Schiphol in Holland, in the Netherlands together. And in no way was I any more or less exceptional than I am today. But, he wanted me to know who he was. And he was a little disappointed that I wasn't interested in talking to him. But nevertheless. So a grandiose sense of self-importance, again, this is false or fake exceptionalism. These are people, they have an inflated sense of self and they want others to share that. And so they will exaggerate achievements, right? Or perceived talents when really you and I will go, yeah, you're talentless. But okay, they name drop, they kind of build up their non-accomplishments in the hopes of turning ordinary facts into, oh, if only I could have done that type of stories, right? Like, oh, once I parked next to Elon's Tesla, therefore I'm part of Elon's inner circle. Right? It's all bullshit. It's fake. It's faux. It's sad. These people are so preoccupied with their own fantasies usually they're having fantasies of unlimited success, or beauty. They have a rich fantasy life where every man on the planet will lay down in front of them because of their beauty, right? That's the flavor of the fantasy. So they will constantly reference famous or high status people as people that they've met or people that they know or people that somehow they might be related to, as if this gives them borrowed status, right? The name dropping serves to signal to you and me, other people, we little peons. It's a way of setting themselves apart by saying, hey, I belong with the elite. I am better than you guys. I'm better than your listeners. Let me tell you how I'm special. And then they go on with their BS, right? So they believe they're special. They think that somehow they're gifted in a way you are not, or that they are destined for greatness where you are not. And so the only way, their only path to notoriety is for them to have some kind of connection to high status people, legitimately high status people that, actually are the Elton Johns and Elon Musks of the world. These people can be so hungry for admiration that they will take the most mundane, boring of facts and frame them in a way that they believe makes them look exceptional in some way of like getting compliments or putting you in awe. Like to say, oh, yes, I flew first class again. Like somehow them saying, yes, I flew first class. When I fly, I don't fly coach. I only fly first or business first. And in their minds, you are going, oh, cool. Wow. You are special. When really it just makes me and you go, shut up. If I was foolish with my money, I would fly first class too, but I'm not foolish, so I don't do that. But you can be foolish and spend your money if you want. All right. They also have a strong sense of entitlement, and they expect recognition, your recognition, by the way, for things that we actually see as normal and, regular. They somehow think because it's them, you should give it extra attention. Wow, just look at the photograph your mom had framed. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that the most beautiful frame job you've ever seen? And you're looking at it thinking, is my dad crazy? Because it's just a framed picture. Everybody gets pictures framed. What's so special about this one? Oh, your narcissistic mother had it framed. Okay. All right. And then finally, people that do all this name dropping and such, while they will try to make their own boring, average lives somehow be awe-inspiring to little old you, they won't think twice about diminishing your cool stories. They can't tolerate it for someone else to have a cool story. So they'll put you down, embarrass you. At the same time, they're trying to tell the most interesting story about when they last had diarrhea. All right? That's the kind of people that we are dealing with. Many of these people can be very theatrical, attention seeking. They're not happy to just feel special within their own skin. They need to show out and show off and make spectacles of themselves, believing that they are being charming or sexually provocative, when the rest of us are going, they're annoying. I wish they would be quiet and go away. Right? Okay. So just a little bit of background to sort of pay attention to listen with some, open ears. And let's take a listen to Lauren on the Mormon Stories, and let's just see what we hear. All right. Now, why is my volume not wanting to go up? That is so weird. Let me turn it up here. We'll go to the volume booster. There we go. We'll boost it up like Victoria's Secret bras. Boost your boobs. Okay, here we go.
Good for the goose is good for the gander, right?
Yes.
So now, where does your Mormon story begin?
If you can hear that, okay, would you put a 1, please? Well, that's okay, Net Detective. If you like Lauren, you're certainly entitled to like whomever you wish. I find Lauren difficult to like at this point. And the reason that I find her very difficult to like or to even tolerate is the fact that she made $3 million off of the murders of Charles Vallow, J.J. Vallow, Ty Lee, and Tammy Daybell. And she kissed up to Kay Woodcock, Larry Woodcock, Colby Ryan. And when the trials were all finished and over with, she had no more use for this family, for these family members that have been so victimized by Lori's crazy rear end. And she is laying claim to precious family photographs of their murdered family members, number one, that she went in her chats with friends and spoke horribly about Kay and Larry and Crescia. And then the ultimate is, after making millions off of their dead family members, she turns around and sues Crescia, is literally taking Crescia to copyright claims court for family photographs, not Lauren's family photographs, but the family photographs of the people that were murdered in Kay Woodcock's family. She is unforgivable. What she has done is unforgivable. When you really know the extent of how cruel and callous she is, how selfish she is, you will find it very difficult to like her. Very, very difficult. All right. Now, we're going to listen to her interview with Mormon Stories. And I think it's important to note, and I think Jay does say this, but I may have gone past it. This interview was happening when Lauren was in fear of her life and limbs by her stalkers. Yeah. She was so afraid. She was so terrified of the stalkers. You know what stalkers are, Net Detective? The stalkers were all friends of Lauren. Yeah, they were friends. Well, maybe I should say it different. They were girls that thought they were friends of Lauren's, but really Lauren was just exploiting them the same way that she exploited Kay and Larry Woodcock. And when she was finished with them, she didn't want them telling their stories of what a bad friend she is. And so she lied about them. In fact, the girl that she called stalker, Christina wasn't even in the United States of America during some of the stalking episodes. described by Lauren and Grayson. She was in Europe traveling with family. But that didn't stop Lauren from lying about Christina putting her in danger. Lauren also outright lied to the police. Just lied to them. I don't know if it didn't occur to Lauren that there was going to be body cam, but now that the body cam has been released, now there is evidence that she did not tell the truth to law enforcement. She didn't tell the truth about what happened at CrimeCon. She literally set Christina up for public humiliation. Let me ask you this question, Net Detective. As a detective, if you were afraid of someone, if you believed you had a stalker who was threatening your life and the life of your child and your husband, do you think it would be a good idea to manipulate and set them up to be publicly humiliated, to be embarrassed in public? Or do you think you would be saying, okay, I don't think I want to do anything that is going to anger my terrifying stalker? Don't you think you'd be careful about that? And yet, Lauren laughed and cackled with glee when she publicly humiliated Christina by lying to the police and having a bullshit restraining order placed on her. So, I agree, Net Detective. And I think when these things happen, especially with people that we have never previously had any reason to not believe, I think it's shocking, and it's really hard to believe when the real people begin to come forward. And Lauren, on her own, through her own devices, she is the one that's responsible for having all of the documentation out there that now we can all see the truth. And you know what? Cresha's here now. Cresha lived it, Net Detective. Kay Woodcock lived it. Awen Reese lived it. Lauren did do these things. She did do them. And that makes it, it makes it immoral. You can't support Lauren Matthias and the family of Charles Vallow. You can't support them at the same time. In this particular situation, they are mutually exclusive, Net Detective. So, no, Christina, once we got I think this is important to say too, Net Detective. Both Cresha and I were there for Lauren's 9-hour live. We were there, and we were both moved by her apparent emotion, and I felt supportive of her. And she seemed to me that she was in distress. And that changed very quickly when the body cam came out. When we began seeing and listening to what really happened, like what actually happened, and not the filter of Lauren, it was horrifying. Because the reality is that Christina is not the stalker. The people that did the stalking was actually Lauren and Grayson. Their behavior was more in line with stalking than anything Christina did. So I think for those people who take the time to gather the facts, to watch these recordings, videos, and such, it's very easy to see this has all been contrived. It's all manipulation by Lauren. And perhaps it's because she was trying to hide the fact that she mistreated Cresha, Kay Woodcock, Awen Reese, that she was so awful. And that's my opinion. I also think there's another big secret, but it's not my place to talk about that. And until, it comes out, then then I guess we can talk about it, but I'm gonna leave it alone until then. So, okay. So let's take a listen and welcome Kresha. Good to have you. Thank you for being here. And truth does not equal hate. Truth does not equal hate. And I think that the fact that Lauren is suing Kresha at Copyright Claims Court, she had to pay money so she could target Kresha and get more blood money for her piles of millions. And I think one of the worst things about this whole thing was silencing Kay Woodcock and Kresha and Awen Reese, silencing them, not giving them a safe space to tell their story. They're entitled to tell their story. They're the real victims. There's not a victimized bone in Lauren Matthias's body. She is not the victim. She has, in my opinion is that Lauren has fallen in love with she has romanticized the role of victim. I think Lauren wants to be a victim of something because she looks at the attention that it gets as a popularity contest. I think she looked at what Colby Ryan experienced and Kay and Kresha and the Daybell family, and she thought, oh, I want people to be interested in me like that. I want people to clamor for my interviews. I want to be special like the victims of Lori Vallow. I want that. She's fallen in love and romanticized the idea of being a victim. She has no idea the nightmare of what a real victim experience is. Look at that smile on her face right there where it's frozen. Look at her. She is supposedly, at this point of this interview, she's in the depths of her 8-year-old child being targeted by stalkers. Yeah. $3 million, Miss Milky the Clown. Put together, those numbers put together by a forensic accountant. Okay? Blood money. And when the last trial was finished, she turned on anyone who thought they were going to talk about the Lori Daybell assassinations, including the family. So I'm just telling the truth. The truth should come out. I seriously have not followed this mess. So sorry. You are so entitled to your opinion, Net Detective. Please, I'm serious about that. But that's the reason that we have to tell the truth. People need to know the reality of. For one thing, here's one of the issues. Lauren and John Matthias have also befriended Brandy Vaughn, the mother of the murdered child, Michael Vaughn or Monkey Vaughn. So what? We're going to let the Vaughn family experience what Kresha and her family experienced? No. Look, it's awful enough to be a victim of any crime, but when children in your family have been murdered and you have this lady manipulating you and sucking the life out of you, no, it's not okay. It is not okay. All right. So let's go ahead with this discussion tonight. Remember what I said. Lauren has a level of arrogance and unmitigated gall that's hard to imagine. She thought her imaginary crown couldn't ever be removed. Wrong. DB, I thought it was so strange that John Matthias went on his 4-hour live and said, well, when you and the gals, you and the girls have like a group chat and you're talking crap about people, you're just blowing off a little steam. True crime stories are stressful and you need to be able to blow off a little steam. Isn't that what he said? Did I have that right? Okay. He was literally minimizing his wife slandering real victims of real crime. She talked shit about Gigi from True Crimes and Alibis. She slithered into the lives of the Woodcock family in a way that was just a snaky snake, right? And it was all done for what? Fame and money. That's it. Fame and money. In fact, so much money that John Matthias didn't go back to his practice as a psychologist. That's a lot of money right there. So why should Brandy Vaughn experience the same treatment? Or any family that has lost loved ones to murder? Why do you want to just people sit back quietly and let this woman invade your life, take your family pictures, drag you to copyright court because you want to talk about your experience of your family members being murdered? You get drug into court of law because you're going to tell the story of losing your grandchild to a crazy woman? Nope, it's not okay. Nothing that these creators have said has been a lie. They have had video to back up what they've said, recorded words, people that lived it. The people are offering up evidence of the reality of the victimization of real families that have experienced excruciating loss. While this woman romanticizes being a victim. So she's just going to steal Crush's family, the murdered victims. Oh, I had to leave my dying mother, had to leave my dying brother to go get justice for JJ. I had to be in the courtroom for JJ. No, you didn't, Lauren. You are not JJ's family. Crusha is, the lady you're taking to copyright court. You did not have a family member murdered. You did not investigate the murders. You were not a witness. You didn't get called up on the stand. You didn't give interviews to the detectives, Lauren. You are not a victim of the murders of JJ, Tylee, Charles, and Tammy. You are not. You just go live and talk about it. Like everybody else, Lauren. You're not special. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and listen to this. I need to try something. If I plug in my headphones, hold on. If I plug in my headphones, if you guys are going to be able to hear me. So can you hear me now? If you can hear me, put a 1. Hello. Can you hear me? See, I don't think you can. Yeah, I watch Mormon Stories all the time, Sammy. Yep. Hello. No, see, they can't hear me when if I've got headphones on, they don't hear me. All right. Oh, you do hear me. Okay. So let me plug it back in. And we will get this show on the road. And I'm going to try to limit this show tonight to 1 hour. And that is not my forte, as you all know. I usually talk for hours, which is not always good. I hear you with headphones on. Thank you, Kresha. Thank you so much. All right, let's give this a try. All righty. Okay, so I want to review very quickly because I did a lot of talking. Remember what I said. The name dropping problem is a tool that is used by certain types of people who are trying to create fake exceptionalism. They have a grandiose sense of self-importance, and so they exaggerate their achievements, and they'll even take like the most ordinary facts and turn them into exceptionally special moments and stories. If they just park next to a Tesla, they tell their friends, "Oh my God, I parked next to Elon Musk today." Basically trying to say, now I'm part of his inner circle. They will constantly reference famous or high status people because they believe that somehow, it's contagious, like a virus. And that if they're around somebody famous, they too will be famous. So they rely on name dropping. It's a way to signal, I belong to the elite and you are a lowly peasant subscriber. Okay. They're trying to make themselves appear cool and special and better than you. And name droppers have the weirdest talent. They can take the strange, like the most boring, mundane facts imaginable and present it to you as if it is going to be the coolest thing that you have ever heard. Okay, so they're always diminishing you as they build themselves up, thinking that they sound special, but really they just sound kind of sad and petty and small, right? Another part of this picture is that these people, name droppers, very often can be quite theatrical. And I have stalkers, and they're threatening to kill my 8-year-old. And I told them, people want to kill mommy. Okay, no, Lauren, nobody wanted to kill you. Nobody threatened to harm you. You're a bad friend. That's all. You had a group of friends and you mistreated them and they got their feelings hurt and they tried to talk to you about it and you didn't want anybody to know you were a bad friend, and that's all. But you sort of have a tendency for the theater, right? You're a little bit attention seeking, superficial charm perhaps, but very theatrical, including putting your stage makeup on every morning before you wake up. Okay, so here we go. Listen for the name dropping.
So my mother is from the East Idaho area. That's where she actually was born in Hollywood.
Oh, what? Excuse me? What? And not only does she have to say, my mother was born in Hollywood, she has, look at her eyes. Look how she's looking wistfully, longingly into her rich fantasy life of, I am a child of Hollywood. My mother was born in Hollywood. Do you guys know that there are places in Hollywood where the prostitutes are a pretty low caliber? Like, they're not your high dollar call girls. They're kind of like the alley girls. You know what I'm talking about? So just to say, actually, my mother was born in Hollywood. What part of Hollywood exactly, Lauren? But you can look at her eyes, right? You can look at her eyes and you can see she's in her rich, like, fantasy life, isn't she? She's, like Tatum O'Neal or other, famous Hollywood children that don't come to mind. Who's a Hollywood kid? I can't think of a child of a Hollywood actor. Who? Someone help me. Um, um, oh, Will Smith and his kids, right? She wants to be, one of those kids, or Elvis's child or something. She's in a fantasy. My mother was born in Hollywood. All right. Sorry, Lauren. Oh, nobody believes you.
My mother's from the
Okay, that's Every Day with Jay, because this, in fact, is her video, her live from. So, if put her link to this live on her channel. But I didn't want to play the original content.
So her mom was born in Hollywood,
California, but she grew up in East Idaho. And my grandfather there, her father.
That's a significant fall from grace, isn't it? My mother was born in Hollywood. Yeah, but when she was 2 weeks old, they moved to Idaho. Right. So it is good. Let me say this, Lauren. Thank you for correcting the record. Okay. Thank you for not following up with my daddy is Johnny Depp. Appreciate that. Okay. But y'all saw it, right? You saw the wistful look on her face. I'm a Hollywood child. I'm Hollywood royalty.
Father was a chiropractor and a bishop in Pocatello.
Oh,
and then my
sweet.
father is from Arizona. He was born in Casa Grande, mostly raised in Oregon, though. And a long line of LDS ancestors on both sides. While my grandmother, my dad's mom, was a convert. Other than that, Paces, Johnsons, people being baptized.
You hear all these names, and you and I are going, like, Pace Bacani sauce? What? Which Paces? What kind of Johnson? Like, Johnsons are pretty mundane, right? I mean, we got a president there, but I don't know what you're talking about, Lauren, but you seem mighty proud. Is this name dropping, people? If you believe she is name dropping, if you think she's trying to present herself in far more interesting light than she actually is, put a 1. I wonder if she was born in the fruit cart pushing. Yeah. Right? Her face has changed so much even since the start of these cases. Yeah. She's totally trying to make herself seem exotic and special. Look at my eyebrows. They're smooth. Yeah, she's a trip. She is a trip. My best friend since I was 7 is a Johnson. A Johnson. Excuse me, madam. Are you of the New Orleans Johnsons? It's so dumb. It's so stupid. Thank you, Crusha, for being special to have a best friend of the Johnsons. I think it's lovely. I know. All right. I know. I should not be such a smart aleck. All right, here we go. And I don't know why I sound like that, but we'll continue. Let's go.
It's in Kirtland.
Oh, so her brother's named Pace after a last name. So she's related to the Paces and the Johnsons. Well, she was a Johnson, but I didn't realize Pace was the last name.
One of my great grandmothers on my mother's side has a painting in the St. George Temple of her carrying, legend has it, hundreds of people across the icy Platte River to save souls. People ask, well, where were the...
Legend has it that my foremothers, the strong and powerful women's from whence I come, that they carried thousands of other women across the frozen lake to safety, because the women of my clan are so much stronger and have more endurance than the measly men with which we surround ourselves. Lauren, I'm sorry, But the reason that I talk like that when I'm being you is because that's what you sound like. You're tell you just wait, we're going to go back in time here. Let's go back in time. Okay, we're going to go back in time. I want you to re-listen to this, okay? Listen to this. It's craziness.
Paces, Johnsons, people being baptized in Kirtland.
Oh, so her brother's named Pace after a last name.
Well, don't you know, Jay, that all the aristocrats of the world name their sons after their mother's maiden names?
So she's related to the Paces
Paces.
and the Johnsons. Well, she was a Johnson, but I didn't realize Pace.
The big question, Jay, is who the hell are the Paces and the Johnsons? Well, we know who the Johnsons are. We know who the Johnsons are. The Johnsons are the ones that gave Crescia her best friend. So thank you, Mr. and Miss Johnson, because we love Crescia. And if she is a friend of Crescia's, then she is a friend of mine. But who the hell are the Paces? Other than the pecani sauce folks, right? And they're damn fine people, in my opinion.
Was the last name.
One of my great-great-grandmothers on my...
Well, excuse me, John. One of my great-great-grandmothers, from whence I come, from a long line of golden-crusted wombs. And this is what makes the Pace Johnson women so powerful and strong, that we carry thousands of people across the frozen lakes to safety. Lauren, you sound absurd, honey.
Mother's side has a painting in the St. George Temple of her care.
Oh, I'm sorry. In my mockery, I forgot all about the St. George Cathedral or Tabernacle or whatever the hell it is. Oh, the women of that came before me, my greatness only to be outshone by the women who came before me. Why, they have their photographs in the temples. And Melanie Gibb is so special. She looked at the pictures in the temples. I think one of our great vaginas was there in the temple where Melanie Gibb and Lori went before me.
Legend has it, hundreds of people across the ice.
Legend, not just, hey, y'all, let me tell you a story about what happened to my grandma. Let me tell you what my grandma did. Let me tell you about my KK. No. Let me tell you about my mama. Isn't that how normal people talk? Let me tell you what happened to my mama during the Great Depression. Isn't that the way we talk? No, not if you're Lauren with the abscessed cheeks. If you're Lauren with the abscessed cheeks, you don't tell stories. There's legends. Legends have it that the white salamander crawled forth from the great gold-encrusted womb of my great-great-great-grandmother. Yeah, legend has it, people. Legends. Lauren is the thing that legends are made of. Weird, right? It's weird that there's you guys thought that I was kidding when I described this special group of people that do name dropping. You thought I was kidding, didn't you? You thought I was using hyperbole, huh? Well, here she is. And lest you forget, this theatrical show that she's putting on for John, this was happening during a period of time when she was in fear of her life. She was in danger. There were stalkers that were everywhere, and they were trying to harm her. They were so dangerous that she had to tell her 8-year-old child that people wanted to hurt mommy. Oh, and there's something else she's doing at this time too. You know what it is? She was counting her $3 million that she earned through the death of J.J. Vallow, Tylee Ryan, Charles Vallow, and Tammy Daybell. So while this interview is happening and she's sitting here with her abscessed cheeks, giving the legendary tales of the great women of her lineage, she's counting her $3 million as she's terrified for her life. She's counting her $3 million as she's stealing the manuscript that Lori Hellis gave to a publisher for her book. Lauren is laughing and saying, anybody want an unauthorized copy? Ha, ha, ha. This is the chick. I'm going to ask you, does she look disturbed to you? Does she seem like she's been through any sleepless nights? Does this look like a woman afraid for her life? And are these the stories that one would tell if you thought that someone wanted to hurt you? Legend has it, my great-great-grandmother. It gets worse, y'all.
See Platte River to save souls. People ask, well, where were the men? I said, they're getting owned by my grandma. And then I think, and then on my dad's side, I even have some that actually were in the Mexican colony, I think with the Romneys. I mean, there's wide.
The Mexican colony with the Romneys. Oopsie. Now Lauren is showing her conservative side. Seems old Lauren there may be a Trump voter. She's drawing a parallel between her DNA and the very DNA of one Mitt Romney of political fame. Okay. Who knows what the Mexican side of the Romneys, who knows what that is? Yeah, Ancient Teapot, thank you for being here. It's not really something to brag about, Lauren, but then again, you know, you're thinking you're special because you share some DNA with Mitt Romney? Really? So, I did a little looking. All right. And I thought I'd take a moment to talk about how Lauren shares DNA with Mitt Romney, that her great-great-grandmother, not great-great-great-grandmother, was in Mexico with the Romneys. Again, hoping for something to rub off, right? Right, Lauren? Your grandmother sounds like she got around. You know what I mean? She's carrying people over the river and through the woods, and she's not even going to grandma's house. Men are like quaking in fear to the point that they won't even step up to help, try to save people's lives. And then she goes to Mexico to be with the Romney men. I don't know if I'd be bragging about that, Lauren. Just saying. The Romney family has historical ties to the Mormon colonies in northern Mexico, specifically in the state of Chihuahua. Many members of the Romney family were among the earliest settlers who moved to the colonies in the late 19th and early 20th centuries to practice what? Polygamy. Yeah. Why did they have to go to northern Mexico for polygamy? Oh, because it was outlawed in the United States of America. So they went across the border to Mexico where they could lay with lots of women. You know, and to be fair, maybe that made women strong. Maybe that's why Lauren's great-great-great-grandma could carry lots of women over frozen rivers and through the woods. Maybe She was sick of having sex with all those men, and she was trying to carry all those women to safety and get them away from the Romney men. You ever think of that, Lauren? Lauren, did you? Literally, the Romneys ran to North Mexico so they could continue the LDS practice of polygamy because it was outlawed in the United States of America. And Lauren thinks this is something to brag about. Okay, Lauren, we're having some questions. Although many families left Mexico during the Mexican Revolution around 1912, a branch of the family, descendants of Miles Archibald Romney, remained, and their descendants, aka Lauren Matthias, still live in the colonies today, at least in her heart, she does. She'd like to go back to good old Mexico and really practice her LDS roots, according to what she goes on to say in this interview. Early Mormon settlers, including the Romney family, established these Mexican colonies. This Miles Park Romney had 4 wives and how many children, Lauren? 30. Yeah. Oh, I'm totally related to Romney. I'm totally related to Mitt Romney. We share the same DNA, the same brilliant mind for politics and crime. Yeah, I was, my mom, my grandma's carrying people around. My mom was born. She's one of the 30 children. And then I popped out. Oh, mistake. Sorry, New York. I was a mistake. Around 1912, during the Mexican Revolution, many Mormon colonists, including the direct ancestors of Michigan Governor George Romney, fled back to the United States. There is a different part of the Romney family, the descendants of Miles, who went to, however, Mexico because they liked polygamy. So they want to come back to the United States. The modern day descendants, aka Lauren, according to what she said, the Romney descendants living in the colonies like Colonial Juarez in Chihuahua still practice polygamy. Yeah, Lauren's cousins, they practice polygamy. Cool, huh? This is what I'm talking about. She just knows Mitt Romney, famous dude in the Senate, right? That's all she knows. So she's got to get her some of that. She needs a little bit of Romney magic dust spread on her. So she's willing to own them without really stopping to think about what it is that she's like aligning herself with. But make no mistake about it, she's really proud that she comes from the Mexican colonies, quotation marks, with the Romneys. Name dropping, name dropping, name dropping.
What's the Mexican colony with the Romneys? What does that mean?
Yeah, polygamy.
My mother was born in Hollywood, but she was raised in East Idaho. She went from Glamour to East Idaho.
Rain.
From Glamour to goat's milk.
But I am LDS blood through and through.
Oh.
And she's so proud. Look at that. She's about to burst with pride. Her cheeks, she's so filled with pride that her cheeks are just, you can just see them just aching to explode with pride. Or is Juvederm? Might be pride, but might be Juvederm. We'll never know. We'll never know. But what we do know, because she said it, is she's damn proud that she's Lauren of the Mexican LDS polygamist. She's good. It's okay for her. She doesn't have a problem with it.
And then I range, but I am LDS blood through and through. And then my
me, my, I want to talk about me, want to talk about I, want to talk about number one, oh, now me, my, what I think, what I like, what I know, what I want, what I see. Yeah. She's a mess.
parents met at BYU. That's how you meet. And then
Parents met at BYU, and I don't know why I'm talking like a Valley girl, because my mama was born in Hollywood and it's genetic. So I have to talk like a Valley girl. And you go to BYU, and that's where you meet. That's the rule. If you're LDS royalty, if you're related to the Mormon Mitt Romneys, and that's what happened. And look how cute I am. I am cute. She's cute. Take a look at her. Is she cute? What do you think? How cute is she? All right. Hold on just a minute. So cute.
I was born
love story
in New York City while my dad was attending Columbia Law School. I was a mistake. They already had to.
I don't think you're a mistake, Lauren. I think your parents love you very much. You are not a mistake. You should not call yourself a mistake.
2 boys.
I remember this now. I remember her saying, I was a mistake. That was very telling to me. As the youngest of 6, this was very telling to me.
Yeah.
I was a mistake. For you to call yourself a mistake, you have to feel pretty shitty about yourself.
Yeah. It's not good.
I was a surprise. Okay. And I was the best surprise they got out of all 6 fucking kids. That's how I present it. She presents it as a mistake. Hey, Jeff H., you edited a commercial for Mitt Romney's presidential bid. Oh, wow.
And to be fair, Jeff thinks that Lauren is cute and is getting a bad rap. That people shouldn't be telling the truth about Lauren.
Hello, Emmy Joe.
Brad Pitt.
While my dad was attending Columbia.
Brad Pitt's mom encouraged Romney votes. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's in the chat. That's funny.
Law school. I was a mistake. They already had 2 boys in a very small apartment.
And she smiles about it. I was a mistake.
That's so
in New York City. And so I came along. So I had 2 older brothers. Then we lived in Brooklyn for a while when my dad practiced. And then the family actually moved to Romania for a time. It was my dad had a Fulbright scholarship there, studying international law.
And before anybody gets all excited about the whole Romanian Fulbright scholarship thing, you can look it up. He was or I guess you would say he is a Fulbright scholar. I don't know if he graduated or not, but he did get the Fulbright scholarship.
Because it was a communist country at the time. It was under the dictator Ceausescu.
Mannequin.
And
attention.
So a lot of stories growing up of how he had to hold me. I was a toddler at the time, in food lines in order to get food. Oh. How there were spies.
What? Somehow I missed this part. Did she just say that a Fulbright scholar, international law, had to stand in bread lines? Is that what she said? I totally missed this. I didn't hear this part. Lauren, come on. Oh my God. Oh my God, y'all. What does that mean? Why is she saying that? Someone speak for me. I don't want to even talk about it. It's so insane. Dream Feed Media is the forensic accountant's name here on YouTube. Yeah, putting out some really good videos. Yeah. Lauren, you're a horrible storyteller. You don't even include roughly the decade, the year, nothing. It's so crazy, isn't it? Like you're saying, yes, he's at Columbia educated. He trained in New York. My mother was born in Hollywood. We are, LDS pure. We are from the polygamous tribe in northern Mexico. and we moved to Romania. And you almost hear screech, right? You're, as you put the brakes on. What? Did you say Romania? Okay, well, international scholarship. Okay, I'm good with Romania. And then you listen a little bit longer, and then she says, my father, my dear blind father, he held me aloft as a small wee babe in the snow. He held me high above the crowd, lest one of the Romanian gypsies steal me and take me away to be part of the gypsy tribe caravan forever. My noble, noble father, he kept me safe from the gypsy caravans of Romania, as he got our food from the bread lines before he went to school as a Fulbright scholar. Shut up, Lauren. Please stop. This is so... Okay, y'all. I got to ask you again. Trading cigarettes for bread, a wee slice of bread for the young babe, Lauren. I don't know. You know what? From bread lines, no. From Hollywood royalty to bread lines to LDS to YouTube star? I'm sorry. You're full of shit, Lauren. You just are. You are. This is silly. There's no legends, Lauren. You're not caught up in legends. Okay. Nobody has a legend about the Lauren family. They don't. My guess is, you are not of Mitt Romney DNA lineage. That is not true either. Puff, puff, pass. Thank you, Crush. Thank you so much. Look, Lauren, sincerely, you have to quit. You're thinking that, being a crime victim is cool, and you just wish you could be a crime victim just once, so much that you literally slandered a woman by calling her a stalker something like 280 times, right? You go on Mormon Stories, where they have been covering people who were brutalized, who were victimized by crazy people of the Mormon persuasion. And you show up with a story that is just simply not real. It is not real. Legends were not written about your family. I'm sorry. They weren't. Man, I'm triggered. Okay, I'm not going to be mad though.
Eyes everywhere, and they had to slip a Book of Mormon to someone underneath the table that was interested.
Wow,
how they had to bribe doctors with cigarettes to treat my older brother.
13 kids.
See, you got that all wrong. You said that they traded cigarettes for bread. No, he was a white collar breadline person. He used cigarettes to get medical care for his family, like any good Mormon royalty would. Gosh, I got to keep an eye on you guys in the side chat all the time.
And so there was a lot of lessons when I was younger about how important freedom of religion is and accepting everyone. And then in New York, though, too, and I love this about my parents, how they taught diversity. My dad would always teach about respect of other religions, too, while he was proud of our LDS heritage. He would always tell the story of being in this small apartment, student housing in New York City, and our neighbors were Orthodox Jews and how they helped.
What did I miss, Andy?
I don't know. Let's keep going.
Hold on.
Had to hold me. I was a toddler at the time, in food lines in order to get food, how there were spies everywhere and they had to slip a Book of Mormon to someone.
Spies? There were legend has it there were spies. God, Well, I have a damn question. Can somebody riddle me this? Okay. What is the difference between a spy and a stalker? Is there a difference? Well, I guess, yeah. Well, no, maybe not, right? Because spies, they follow you around, or the old time spy, right? The old timey ones. Didn't they follow people around to try to like get dirt on them? Isn't that what a stalker is doing? Kims, it's so much, girl. It's so much. Look, I'm sorry, Kim. We passed way too much back like 30 minutes ago. We are now into holy shit territory. Okay. This is so much. All of us in our respective homes or breadlines, we're all sitting here looking at this woman's face going, holy shit. What did she just say? Yeah, I'm with you, Diane. Absolutely. I'm suspicious of Lauren Matthias' constant name dropping of her deceased brother. Isn't that more of romanticizing, tragedy and horror? She kept saying he was about to invest in hidden true crime. I immediately thought, Rico, Wawin, apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it, Wawin? Yeah, Lauren, you got to do better, girl. You need to be watching Melania Trump. Be better. No, I think hers is be best, but you got my point. You got to do better, Lauren. This is not your best. This was not your finest moment, Lauren. It wasn't. This is weird. This is weird, people. Weird, man. Oh, you're so sweet, Miss Milky the Clown. Thank you so much. But, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm good with that as long as I'm your cup of tea, Milky. I don't know about Romney. He should have won his race. Is something wrong somewhere? Maybe, Net Detective. Grayson was spying on Janice in the bathroom, according to Janice. I'm telling you, Boobos, who are the spies here? Legend has it that it might have been Lauren's mom who was the actual spy in the breadline in Romania and not the Fulbright scholar. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, Lauren, your family is just full of legends and stuff. Lauren's emotion about her brother feels strange to me, unnatural, like she couldn't care less. Anyone else get that feeling? Well, Requiem, which I love your name, by the way, Requiem. I'll tell you when it was weird to me. I'll tell you the feeling I got when this woman said, I had to get justice for JJ. I left my family, my dying family. I left them to go be in the courtroom for JJ, to get justice for JJ. I had to be there. Call me a liar. Did she say it or did she say it, Krusha? She said it. That evoked some kind of feeling in me. I think the feeling in me was, this woman is horrible. That was the feeling evoked in me was, you're gross and you're weird. Why are you taking over JJ's family? You're not the family. You didn't do an investigation. You're not a detective. You're not law enforcement. You were not interviewed by law enforcement. Why would you leave your beloved mother or brother to go be one of the trial tourists and somehow convince yourself that you're getting justice for the victims? No, you were getting money for more Botox. That's what you were doing. You were saying, whoo, this Valo money, this Valo money, this is good money, man. I got to keep this going as long as I can. I better be in that courtroom, damn it. People better see me there because I'm the only one that gets to tell the story. You understand, Kresha? You don't get to tell the story of your family because legend has it I'm Lauren of the North Mexican trial of polygamists with the Romneys. I tell the tale of JJ and Tylee and Tammy Daybell and Charles Vallon. If you think I am being ridiculous and over the top, let me make something clear. I have to be if I'm going to be in character as Wawin. So just be kind, okay? Just be kind. Romney's son, Pelosi's son, John Kerry's son, Biden's son, all on the board of Burisma. Click, click, click. Legend has it that Lauren was going to be on the board of Burisma, but she just didn't want to lower her standards.
Underneath the table that was interested, how they had to bribe doctors with cigarettes to treat my older brother. And so there was a lot of lessons when I was younger about how important freedom of religion is and accepting everyone. And then in New York, though, too, and I love this about my parents.
Oh, the communist country. Okay, let's go back a little bit.
To Romania for a time. It was my dad had a Fulbright scholarship there, studying international law because it was a communist country at the time. It was under the dictator Ceausescu.
She said Romania. She said they lived time
to hold me. I was a toddler at the time, and food underneath the table. And so
brother,
everyone. And then in New York, though, too, and I love this about my parents, how they taught diversity. My dad would always teach about respect of other religions too. While he was proud of our LDS heritage, he would always tell the story of being in this small apartment, student housing in New York City, and our neighbors were Orthodox Jews, and how they helped one another. And they didn't want to operate machinery on the Sabbath. And so they would come over and they would knock, not ring the doorbell, but knock on my parents' door and say, can you come push the elevator buttons for us? And my dad would go out and push the elevator buttons for them on that Sabbath day so that they could keep their Sabbath holy. And so I was also I always grew up with the idea that you did say happy holidays and not Merry Christmas, and that you respect.
Oh, yeah, Lauren. I recognize you, sister. You're one of those, aren't you? You're one of those who it's virtuous to say happy holidays. Personally, I think you like saying happy holidays because you get to say the hard H's that you love, don't you? It's sort of like your own variation of Valley Girl, that if you put a lot of air behind your words, that you somehow sound smart. You just sound kind of strange and bizarre and extra. You're extra, Lauren. That's what you are. You're extra. No, you don't get extra virtue points by saying happy holidays. You just don't. If you're saying happy holidays because the word police told you that that's what you should say, then you're just shallow and short-sighted and silly. Most people do want to say Merry Christmas because it's Christmas season and you want to say Merry Christmas. And for those people that are of different religious persuasions and Merry Christmas doesn't fit, that's okay too. Happy Hanukkah is perfectly okay and no one cares. Or Happy Kwanzaa is another appropriate greeting. But happy holidays, well, that was just something that was thought up by a politician somewhere that was trying to tell us how to think if we wanted to appear to be something we weren't. And in your case, I think virtuous. I think you believe that saying happy holidays is your own special brand of virtue signaling. And I just think it robs people of spontaneity and authenticity. If you're out buying Christmas presents and you're having fun and it's decorated with Christmas decorations, saying Merry Christmas is absolutely appropriate.
Respect everybody's religions, and that we kept coffee in our cupboard if we had friends come over that were visiting that drank that. And so it was.
I'm a little curious, Lauren. You kept coffee for others because that's just the kind of guy, legend has it, that your dad was, that he was thinking about providing other people toxic substances that Mormons were not supposed to have. Is that right? Is that what you're saying? That the toxic substances, the drugs that you guys were not supposed to have, your dad, being a good guy, kept his cabinets full of toxic substances to harm people of other religious faiths? Legend has it. I got to think about this, Lauren. I need to work this out in my head because personally, myself, I don't use methamphetamine. It's toxic. I think methamphetamine is a dangerous substance, and therefore I don't use it. And I don't keep it in my cabinets for my guests to use when they come over either. So I got to think about why it is that such a pious, noble Mormon of the Mexican colonies with the Romneys polygamy cult, why it is that he was taking dangerous coffee and giving it to your neighbors. I think you need to start thinking some of these stories through, Lauren. You didn't follow these all the way to the end. You just thought, this is going to make me look like a good person. This is some great virtue signaling, even though it completely lacks authenticity, in my opinion.
More of a very, I think I had a lot of LDS pride and a lot of like heritage kind of a feeling to it. Like, this is us, and someone else might be Jewish. So that's something I want to kind of put out there too, because I think
I have no idea what she's talking about. It's the most ridiculous interview I've ever heard in my life.
A lot of how I thought about my faith. And then we moved to Salt Lake City. That's where I started kindergarten.
Okay.
And from
most kindergartners are what, y'all? 5 years old, 4 or 5. If you're born in like January, maybe you're 6, I guess. So little kids, concrete thinking stage.
There.
Was it the early mid 80s that you were in Romania, basically?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So the early mid 80s, she was in Romania. Early to mid 80s.
I wouldn't. Now, as in Louisiana.
I don't know what year
me and Tresha were in Louisiana. Le ponton brûlé.
She was born if she's 45, but that gives you a little more to go on.
And then we moved to Salt Lake City. So neither of my parents are from Salt Lake, but that's where I was raised for the most part. And we settled right in Salt Lake City. My dad's legally blind too, so he could never drive. So we always lived in a downtown area. So, this is before remote working. That wasn't the thing.
You always lived in a downtown remote area because your dad was blind? Is that like they make blind people live in the inner cities? What? I can't. This is too much. Now we've had bread lines. Oh my God. We need, you know what we need, y'all? We need a whiteboard. We need a whiteboard to keep up with this story. You know what I mean? Someone help me. Diane, can you take notes, please? I know it could, maybe you could take notes. Okay. Hollywood birth. Remember that? Johnny Depp is the father. Okay. No. I added that. That's not true. Northern Mexico, polygamy tribe, the Romney shared Romney DNA, Romanian gypsies, Fulbright scholarships standing in the bread lines, but it was a white collar bread line, so it's okay. Cigarettes traded for, was it medical care? I believe. Spies that were, maybe it was Christina. Maybe the spies were following baby Lauren around. Even then, Lauren, my God, we've uncovered. This is amazing, Lauren. We have uncovered something bigger than the USSR itself. You have been stalked since before your birth, Lauren. They thought Christina and the girls followed you all the way to the Romanian gypsy camp where your dad was stealing cigarettes to get you medical care. You must be like special, like the white salamander. Remember the whole white salamander thing? Maybe you're the first white salamander, Lauren. Maybe you're the one person that is going to be able to tear down the whole LDS kingdom. Maybe you were destined for greatness. It's amazing.
Right. So,
okay, so Andy is saying nope. Hey, Jules the Thought, Merry Christmas to you too. You already have a migraine?
Yes,
we always lived in a very downtown sort of central area for the most part so that he could.
She said her dad got a scholarship to something in Romania.
Ride his bike or catch a ride to the office or sometimes even walk. And so we lived in Salt Lake City. And
can I just say, legally blind, Columbia Law School, Fulbright scholar? That's a lot.
He doesn't believe her. Does he? He doesn't believe her. Holy wowzer. Listen to this.
Hey, Jules the Thought, Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, that's me. She said hello to me.
You already have a migraine?
We always lived in a very downtown sort of central area for the most part so that he could.
John.
She said her dad got a scholarship to something in Romania.
Ride his bike or catch a ride to the office or sometimes even walk. And so we lived in Salt Lake City. And
she said ride a bike. She said he's legally blind. Okay, just listen. Listen to John. He is incredulous. He ain't believe. Lauren, we are not picking up what you're throwing down, girlfriend. And John Matthias, if I were you, I wouldn't be either. I would be worried, scared to death.
Can I just say, legally blind, Columbia Law School, Fulbright scholar? That's a
bicycle riding to work. Let me help you, John. Finish that out. Riding a bicycle to work. Spies, John. Spies in the breadlines of Romania. Yeah. Cigarettes for medicine, John. Are you believing the story, John?
a lot.
I don't think Delenn's really buying it. He's
No,
like,
buying it.
It's like a lot.
yeah, my dad.
Yeah, I know I sound like a terrible, horrible liar, but I swear everything I've said, Delenn, is all true. True. Okay, y'all. Let's take a gander here. If you believe the story, the legend of Lauren Matthias, put a 1 in the chat. If you call bullshit, no, I'm sorry, horse shit on the legend of Lauren, put a 2. And I'm going to take a drink of water to wet my whistle because I just cannot believe what we're listening to. All right, Wowin. Take a look at the side chat, Wowin. No one believes you except for Requiem Pielis Domine. No one believes you, Wowin. You went too far, Wowin. You went too far. At what point did she go too far? Was it the great grandmother carrying 1,000 people over the frozen lake and now she's got a picture hanging in the tabernacle to commemorate the legend. Was that it? Was that the point for you? She went too far? No, okay. The bread lines. Maybe the bread lines, that's where it went too far for you. Maybe it was Romanian gypsies. Maybe that went too. What part did it for you? Lauren, damn girl, you got do better, man. This is terrible.
Because I love my dad. And I say that because
my dad is I love my dad. Your dad is what? Your dad's a scammer. Your dad is
She is not lying about that. He's served time in prison, people.
in a Rico. Your dad rips people off. Fulbright scholarship. There you go.
Yeah. Blind riding a bicycle. Shit, I can't believe that I'm saying this. Blind riding a bicycle to work at the college as Fulbright scholarship. Bow Bridges. Oh, I thought you were talking about Bow Bridge, Louisiana. That's the crawfish capital of the world.
yeah.
I want to know how they adopted a Chinese baby. Or not baby, but I want to know how they adopted a Chinese 11-year-old. Does anybody know?
Don't know.
Oh shit. Andy's going through the roles of the Fulbright scholars right fucking now.
And Andy found the Fulbright.
Does anybody know how they came to adopt an 11-year-old Chinese girl?
Probably bought them.
I know. I love Andy. She's cracking me up. She does. No, she has mommy issues for sure. T. Adams.
There'll be
some twists and turns.
Some twists and turns, but I love my dad.
Yeah.
And he is a remarkable man. His dad.
Remarkable. He's a remarkable man. Of course he is. He married my mother, and my mother was from Hollywood. You remember what I said at the beginning of this? I talked about name droppers and how they could take the most mundane of things and embellish it, use hyperbole, blow it up into something that you ought to be impressed by. This what I'm talking about. My father was a remarkable man. No, he wasn't. He is a man. He is a guy. Your dad was a dude, Lauren. That's all. He was a dude who was LDS. And maybe, the LDS people have some strange ideas about things, but he was a money hungry man. He did unethical, illegal things to get money, Lauren. He wasn't remarkable. He was human. He wasn't blind, riding a bicycle to work in Romania, trading cigarettes for medicine in the bread lines with the Romanian gypsies. None of that is true, Lauren. None of it. It's all bullshit, Lauren.
Did not go to college. So,
oh,
wow. Yeah. So he
Hey,
was, he is a really neat. He is a really neat guy.
He's a really neat guy. Oh,
he's a really nice.
He is a really neat guy. He was, he is a really neat. He is a really neat guy.
He's a really neat.
You don't seem like you mean that. Isn't that weird? Is that just me, or does she seem strange when she says that? Yeah, no, no, he is. No, yeah, no, no. What is all that? Let's watch. Watch the micro expressions, folks. Ooh, why aren't we going? Too slow. Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. Yeah, no, yeah. Ooh. What does that look like? I don't um I don't know, Lily. I don't think so. I think the book was mostly about her love life. Weird, right? That is tough to watch. Look at the look. That is grief on her face. Look at that face. Eye blocking out the wazoo. Polygamous wazoo. That's a lot of wazoo. Lauren. That is very weird. Yes, no, yes, nice guy. Yeah, neat. Nope. Yeah, neat. Girlfriend. Yikes, Lauren.
Oh, Lauren, queen of the screen. With Botox so tight, you look like a dream. But your skin's so thin, it's like tissue paper. One wrong word and poof,
you're a vapor. Yikes, Lauren. Wow. The basic story of lies, but decided to embellish it for the podcast. And you think she embellished on the fly, and that's why it's so crazy. Did y'all ever play that game? I don't even remember what we called it now that I don't remember what we called it. But you would start with like a stem, like the beginning of a story. Once upon a time there was a girl. And then you'd go to the next person in the circle, and the person would say, and she wore a blue coat. And then the next person would say, once upon a time there was a girl, she wore a blue coat, and she had a pet cat. Right? So every person, they add one additional detail. And you keep going all around the circle, and you build this story, but it's disjointed because it's written by everyone in the circle, right? So you don't know what each other is thinking. That's what her story sounds like. Like it was just adding more details, each one trying to be more interesting than the last. Yeah, I mean, y'all may be right, Kims. You may be right. Is that true? I did not know that. I mean, Lori and Chad Daybell did exactly that, didn't they? They even said, "Oh, look, I don't know, whoever." We had to hide in the rocks. Yeah, they definitely did that. Oh, this is so bad and uncomfortable. Yikes. Oh, I gotta put us back on. Should we keep watching for more? So that looks like sadness to me. Oh, what does that look like? She looks like she's going, no, I don't believe you. Sorry, Lauren. It's not true. Your stories are not true. Look at her face. And look at the cute little. So this, first of all, look at the cute little gingerbread guy with the hot chocolate. That's really cute. I like that a lot. Let me get back on normal speed here. So the Mindy, the interviewer, she's like, "Oh, was your dad like legally blind from a young age?" I think that Mindy and John know she's lying. That was the impression that I got. They know she's lying, and now they're kind of trying to parse that out, right?
It's fascinating when he finds out that he's legally blind. So he went on a mission to the Philippines. So right before, he was being raised in Oregon and he couldn't see as well in high school. So they did eye tests on him, and they noticed that glasses weren't helping it. Something was wrong. And they did a bunch of tests, and they later learned that he had what is called Stargardt's disease. And it's a hereditary macular degeneration.
Stargardt's disease.
And macular degeneration is actually really common. And it's a shame. It shouldn't be, because you can take supplements and stop the loss of eyesight. So if you've been diagnosed with macular degeneration, there are supplements that you take and it will stop that process, right? I don't know what this Stargardt's disease is. I don't know. I've never heard of that. But I know that macular degeneration is something that runs in my family. I've had friends that have been diagnosed with it. I'm not diagnosed with it, but some people in my family are. And I've had friends that have been diagnosed, and you just buy like special vitamins, and that makes it stop.
Of the eyes. And so it gets worse with age. And
only if you don't take care of it, Lauren. If you take the vitamin supplements, it stops. You don't get your eyesight back, but you don't lose any more, right? It's like early depletion of nutrients to your eyes, something like that.
Then
but I don't, to be clear, I don't know what this Stargardt's is. I don't know what that is.
He did get his driver's license when he was 16, but he went on a mission. Then when he came back from his mission after the Philippines, and I talked to mission.
Okay, please help me understand, people. Okay, Philippines, New York, blind, high school, can't see. Now she says that he got his driver's license when he was 16, but 16 is high school, right? Isn't that like 10th, 11th grade? So are you trying to lie to us and tell us that a driver's license in the late 80s or 90s was awarded to a legally blind man that glasses didn't help? You're lying. That is not true. And legally blind people do in fact wear contacts and or glasses and restore their eyesight with glasses. So what are you talking about?
Companions of him, they say, I just remember him as the elder that couldn't see. He came back from his mission and couldn't.
She remembered her dad as the elder who could not see. He's also the elder that was handing out coffee, a toxic substance, to the neighbors. And he's the elder that went to Mexico to practice. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the grandpa. Never mind.
Not get a driver's license at that age. He could not see. And they said, you are legally blind. So he was 21. And so he wrote in his journal, it was his mission journal. He said, the wildest thing just happened. I just found out I was legally blind. This is crazy, but hey, you know what? I'll get great airline tickets. You know, I could.
What? You're going to get great airline tickets because you have macular degeneration? I don't understand. Okay, so we have Nola V, who is educating us. Thank you so much, Nola. Caused most often by mutations in the ABCA4 gene. Yes, they can detect the lying. You can see that, and we can see the lying. Thank you from Alaska. Oh, where are you at in Alaska? Oh, look, it's the Thompsons, Alaskans. It's a Thompson from Alaska. Do you know any Paces from Alaska by chance? He could see to sign those forged documents. Can't wait to get to the blessing where God, you guys are killing me. Okay, we got to talk about DB. DB, this ain't Christian, girl. Okay, this is not Christian. You are not being Christian. Okay, but you are funny as hell. This funny. Here is DB's contribution. Here's DB's contribution to the discussion. Are you guys ready? Okay, because this is great. It's sad, Jules, but he spent his blind medicine money on cigarettes. It's so sad. What? Look, he was in Romania with the gypsies. He had to. He didn't have a choice. Okay. All right. Difficult research says it's likely caused from malnutrition from standing long ass bread lines, or maybe it was fake vitamins that he bought with cigarettes because it's Romania after all, right? And so he thought that he was trading cigarettes for vitamins for macular degeneration, but really it was just sugar pills. That's all, Kresha, just sugar. Okay, we are going to hell for this. Stargardt disease is an inherited form of macular degeneration that usually begins in childhood. It affects the macula, the part of the retina responsible for sharp central vision. Oh, so glasses will work, is what you're saying. It does not cause total blindness because peripheral vision usually stays. He didn't know. Bobo, much to his surprise, he found out he was legally blind. Holy shit. Lauren, you are a trip, man. Now we know they make those shitty supplements. Oh, this is nuts. Punishment for later giving out toxic. The clicks and glitches used to scare me in her so-called elders when I was a child. It's just insane. She is the poster child for pathological liar. Look how crazy to retell a story in front of the person. Look, listen. Hey, listen, Lauren. That blind dad, the blind elder may get some great plane tickets, but it will not keep him out of prison, girl. That is right. He might have thought it was going to keep him out of prison. Lauren, how do you get plane tickets being blind? What are you talking about? Good heavens. Never seen such hogwash in my life. This hogwash, this is the ultimate hogwash. Damn. Now remember, Mormons don't like being called Christians. They prefer Latter-day Saints of Jesus Christ. But it's so long. It's tiresome, Cinnamon. Like Lauren. Lauren's tiresome. He got double vision. Watch out, y'all. Lauren caught the macular degeneration syndrome. It's contagious. Maybe it's why she sees us as being threatening. There's so many of you, Crush. Wowen's going, they're everywhere, like Santa Claus. Pushing those elevator buttons. But he's a blind man, Cinnamon. He's a blind man pushing elevator buttons, for God's sake. No telling what floor the poor Jews ended up on. It's a cruel joke. It's horrible. It's cruel. Cinnamon cried a little bit. Was his defense that Nola, that is not Christian. That's not Christian. Was his defense that he could read the middle of the document? No, he couldn't see the middle of the document where the meat of the story is, but he could see the little line where you sign your name, and so he obliged that. Oh my God, it's just nuts. I bet he thought prison was bad. Imagine how miserable he is having her pick up his grifty ways. I think that grifting ship has sailed. I'm dead. The wheel is turning, but the hamster is long dead. Totally blue. This crazy. This is nuts. This is certifiably crazy. Sorry that it is. Not sorry. It is reality.
like something.
I mean,
Huh? How do you not know that you can't see? And then
yeah, look, Jay, yeah. How is how is it you're going through your life happily as a Fulbright scholar, riding a bicycle to work, getting a driver's license when you're 16, and then you suddenly discover, oh my gosh, I can't see. I'm legally blind. Oops. This is so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
what is he talking about? Airline
Say
tickets.
thank you
So
for making it
Wake and
happen.
Bake, thank you for your
Thank you.
super chat. Jay, your coverage is funny as fuck. Your laugh makes me laugh even harder. Thanks for getting me through the workday.
it's
Thank you, Wake and Bake, for
so
being here. I love your new picture. Thank you for your super chat as well. Happy holidays.
Thing about, this is going to be okay. He's very optimistic. But yeah, when my mom and dad dated, my mother would drive and would have to pick him up, and he never.
He's optimistic. What? Why would your father be optimistic after the life you have just painted for us? There's not the man's life is just a Lord. I don't know how much more I can do of this, y'all. We'll keep trying a little bit.
Drove growing up. So my mother, bless her soul, like she had to drive everywhere, every road trip, and
Bless her soul.
she'll have 6 kids total later on. But yeah, so yeah, it was interesting growing up with a dad that didn't drive. I remember though sometimes he'd be like, we needed to get to church, and I remember him getting
There was a micro expression there, but I'm not going to worry y'all. But if you want to go back and look at it, the micro expression was at 36 exactly. Definite micro.
in the driver's seat once and just like freaking out as like a 7-year-old. He didn't do that later on because it got worse. His eyesight is pretty bad now.
So you moved to Salt Lake City?
Moved to Salt Lake City, and I remember every Sunday, usually walking, because that story didn't have that happen.
She made it sound like he got it through Columbia, that her parents met at BYU, but that he got the scholarship through Columbia University. Dominique, that's really wild.
Yeah, it is.
Like once or twice, but we would walk down an alley to get to our church building, and it was an old historic church in Salt Lake City, and I had a beautiful.
Okay, remember what I said? That you can take these people that do name dropping, they can take the most mundane of facts and turn it into like a story that should be published, right? Listen to how she describes going to church. Got to go to church. Today's Sunday, going to church. Listen how she described it. It's ridiculous.
Dominique, that's really wild.
Like once or twice, but we would walk down an alley to get to our church building, and it was an old historic church in Salt Lake City, and I had a.
It wasn't just any church, you guys. It was very old and historic. Look at her eyes. She's in the fantasy right there. Look at her. She's living it. Like she's seeing herself probably in, saddleback shoes and a pinafore and a hat on her head with a bow down her back, and she's walking with her lunch pail to the old historic church. Look at her. She's in it. She's writing a delusion. Let's see what she says. Not just we're going to church. It's old, it's historic. Walking down the alleyway. Let's see where she goes with this.
The beautiful stained glass window at the front of the.
Okay, it wasn't a stained glass window, wasn't a big great window, just a beautiful stained glass window. My God, it was beautiful. It was exceptional. It was fantastical. Was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
The chapel of Christ.
The chapel. All that air that she uses as a way to like seem self-important. You just sound like you failed enunciation class, okay? The chapel of Christ. You don't pronounce the H's, Lauren. Yeah, okay, yeah, you do, but you're not supposed to.
knocking on that door without a doorknob. And so Christ, and by
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. She went to the church they wrote that song about.
I just loved that. I loved that stained glass window. I loved having Christ there in the chapel every day and that symbolism.
Tell us what the knob not being there.
Yeah,
means.
that Christ is knocking, but you have to let him in. You have to let him in. And
It's just so fucking profound. Excuse my language. It's so profound, Lauren. You're so ridiculous.
Keep on knocking,
Yeah.
but you can't.
and so it was beautiful. It was a small ward. It was a close-knit ward. I was actually the only girl my age in the ward. And then
The only girl. You hear that? Made her very special. She's the only girl. I think Jodi Arias said that about her ward.
I only had brothers. And so
I only had brothers.
when people say, what was it like? There weren't really other girls in the ward to say, oh, we were being taught roles because I was the only girl in my family. I was being taught roles. Trust me. Like I was being called difficult and the tomboy, and I was getting left out of my older brother's activities. Like I felt it. I think I was a born kind of feminist and frustrated that
She's 5. She was lifted above the heads of Romanian gypsies when she was a babe in swaddling. But when she's 5, she knows that she's a feminist, you guys.
couldn't do, I couldn't hang with the boys, but there weren't
I think you probably hung with the boys a lot, but that's pure speculation on my part.
those things being taught.
Well, you made up for it. You hung out with lots of boys.
Oh,
when
look,
you became
the same thing.
an adult.
Maybe
your
not.
little spiral
No, maybe before adulthood.
notebook with all their names and says thank you next to them. Yeah.
Church in my early years. I was marrying the nativity most often every year, and it was just a very.
She was Mary in the nativity. Of course, she couldn't be expected to be the damn camel, right? She was Mary of the virgin variety.
Close.
She was married as a married pictures.
LDS. So, yeah. So it was good, and we were, we both were very. My dad spent a lot of time with my older brothers. My mother was really nurturing. I was the youngest for 5 years, and I had 2 younger brothers, and she spent.
Mother was very nurturing. Pay attention to that. Remember it, please. Her mother was very nurturing. She's painting the picture of Ward Cleaver, right? The perfect all-American family. You got it? All gender roles in place. Remember that.
A lot of time taking care of them. I helped her take care of them. And so I just went and found friends. And this friend, Abby.
But you said there were no other girls. What do you mean you went and found friends? You literally said moments ago, no girls, no one but Wawin. So where'd Abby come from? Is she imaginary? Is Abby your imaginary friend?
Actually was a big part of my childhood. And we would just play out in the gully in Salt Lake City and just be imaginative. But she didn't, that's something I want to say, she didn't. So she was not LDS. And so in some ways, I think that I might have even questioned God before I questioned Santa Claus.
Holy shit. This 5-year-old roaming the streets of Salt Lake City in the 90s when there were bombs exploding was in search of friends, but there wasn't a single other 5-year-old girl anywhere in Salt Lake City. And then she found an imaginative friend named Abby. And she was a born feminist. And so she questioned God. But she totally believed in Santa Claus. But God was another matter. Okay, got it. Wait, Lauren, I want you to know Diana's keeping notes, okay? So hold it together, girl.
Because I'm being taught in church that this is true, but my best friend in the world doesn't believe it. But it was.
So she didn't believe in God.
I don't know if she believed in God or not, actually.
yeah.
I don't know. But I'll tell this story first and then we'll get into my questioning of God.
She wasn't actively religious.
Yeah. I don't know what religion, right? I didn't know.
Yeah.
But she came to church with me a couple of times. We invited her and she came to primary and it was really fun for me. And I do remember one Sunday morning, we went every week. We went all 3 hours every week. I was a 3-hour girl, right? We can say that. Walked uphill both ways and went to church 3 hours.
3 hours.
What is a 3-hour girl? I'm not going to make a bad joke. Just not going to.
And Abby came with me a few times, I remember. And then I remember one Sunday morning, everybody's getting ready. And my mom stopped me on the stairs and she said, "Hey, sweetheart, you know how Abby has come to church with you on Sundays?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, what Abby does on Sundays is she swims. She was a very good swimmer. She was on the swim team. And so they've invited you to go swimming today. And you are going to go with Abby today because that's what Abby does on Sundays." And so that was sort of the way my parents
I remember the
taught
Stations
me.
of the
Like
Cross.
so it was just very okay. And I was like, great, that's fun for me. And so I got to go swimming with Abby. So that's how I remember my parents sort of teaching us to sort of respect and love everyone's differences and how I grew up.
Did you ever feel a pressure that you needed to, proselytize to Abby, or do you recall, were you too young to maybe have those feelings? Or I just recall having, friends who were not LDS and maybe feeling some pressure internally or externally to recruit my friends to go to church. I wonder if you ever felt that way with Abby.
I didn't feel that way with Abby. I do remember having visitors from out of the country
I bet Abby's not even a real person.
visiting us and me singing "I'm a Child of God" and them saying, "We don't believe in God, don't sing that." But I remember thinking, oh, okay.
So people from outside the country don't believe in God? Do you know where the majority of Christians live, Lauren? The African continent. Like in the jungles, like Wari, Africa. That Wari, Congo. Yeah, there's lots of Christians in Africa. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, oops. Like I remember feeling embarrassed, but I don't think I ever felt the pressure to proselytize to her. No.
It sounds like your parents were just very globally minded and not, it sounds like they didn't have the sort of provincial Mormon bubble mindset. That's what I'm getting.
I don't know, John. They were really proud of being of the northern Mexican persuasion of polygamist LDS factions of the Romneys. So that's a pretty big Mormon bubble, you know what I mean? Unless she's just full of it and telling a big fat lie.
Big so far.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what I want to express too, because people wonder, and that's I'm happy about that part of my childhood really? And how they did that.
Something tells me you may not be happy about this. It's a guess on my part, maybe some speculating involved. I don't think that you're very happy about this, actually.
Yeah, they did. They had a global mindset. And so while I didn't feel pressure to proselytize to Abby, I think though, realizing that I would go to church and my best friend didn't, I have this very clear recollection of being 7 years old. I was in the bathroom.
Okay.
And
oh Lord,
this is second grade now. Okay. So get your mind straight on what a second grader looks like.
Moment of like thinking how happy I know that the church is true, that I did think this is the truth. We know the truth. I have this true church and I know that I'll be with God and I know that I'm safe and that God loves me. And and
there's a song, right? Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but we are strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Right? Okay. So you're not special, Lauren. Okay, Jesus loves us all, little children.
Split second thinking, but what if I don't know? What if it's not true? And the fear that enveloped me as a 7-year-old, thinking that for a split second, I will never forget, because it was so palpable that I quickly was like, it is true. Like I just shut it off. I was like, it is true.
Well, so who's the liar in your life? Like, did your dad lie? Did the elders in your life lie? Why would you believe that as a concrete thinking second grader, Jesus loves all the little children of the world, quote unquote, except maybe that's not true? Who was teaching you that it wasn't true, Lauren?
Because it was so scary to me to think there might not be a God or this might not be right. Because
What might not be right? Why is God not real? What? Okay, let me be clear about my speculation on what this bizarre. Yeah, Sketty Nona and I are on the same page. She has in her mind, in my opinion, my speculation, she has in her mind that she wants to come across as being profound. She wants to come across as being a gifted, brilliant child, more than me and you. That as a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old, she was already having an existential crisis on whether or not God was real. You get my point? It's not true. What she's saying is it can't be true unless there was severe abuse happening. That someone taught her that the church is a liar. And there's really no reason to believe that. Like there's no reason to believe that someone at the church is teaching that the church lies or God is a liar. That there's no reason to believe that. This is 100%. I want to appear to be profound. I must appear to be special. I need to be more than anyone could ever hear. And I think Crusha believes me. And DB same. In no way do I believe that this overly entitled, self-indulgent child is the product of severe abuse. In no way do I believe that. No way. Her gall is unmatched. This is not abuse. This is, I must appear exceptional. I name drop so that others can be impressed by me. She's simply creating her mask, isn't she? She's creating a mask for what she wants you to think she is. And in general, whatever the mask is, the real person, the authentic person, is usually the exact opposite of the mask. Oh, thank you, Krisha. Really, this is, it's what I'm about to say. I think it's my opinion. In my opinion, Lauren is so average and non-exceptional that it hurts her. I think she looks in the mirror and she sees Brad Pitt. But me and you, we just see someone who has to lie to even appear to be even big enough to wash our big toe. Below average, yeah. Yeah, there you go. It exactly, Krusha. Lori built herself up to be Moroni. right? She built herself up. Chad, too. Have you ever in your life seen two bigger goon gourds than Lori and Chad? They're the most unexceptional people imaginable until Lauren came along. But they built themselves up to be biblical heroes, right? To be king and queen of the 144,000. It's the biggest bunch of nonsense imaginable. It's the mask. They're so empty and devoid of anything exceptional that they created this external appearance that's just hogwash. Is that what we're seeing here? Are we seeing the same animal? Someone who feels bitterly mediocre, and that is absolutely unacceptable in Daddy's eyes. Mediocrity is wrong, according to Dad. So you be something that you're not. You create a false visage. You present a countenance to the world that is completely inaccurate for who the authentically honest person is beneath. There's nothing worse to Lauren, in my opinion, than mediocrity. Nothing worse. That's the worst. I got to tell you something. Boring, mediocre, average lives, they are nice and healthy. They're easy. They're fun. Low pressure. They're not bad. But I guess, when you're trying to live up to the likes of Mitt Romney, I guess you do feel like a big loser, right?
I think looking back now, I just had an absolute fear of death. I think most human beings probably, experience that at some point.
Okay, Lauren, the operative words here are at some point, not when you're 7, Lauren. You're not even capable of that quality of thought at 7. You're talking about an existential crisis that doesn't hit most people, until they're about 35, 45 years old. You're 7? Okay, why aren't you a NASA scientist working with Elon to get us to Mars? Huh? Because it's not true. It's a lie. What you're saying is bullshit.
At 7 years old, no, you shouldn't have a fear of death. Salty, thank you so much for your super chat. It's good to see you today. I don't know at that time anyone would be interested in what Lauren has to say, but this guy interviewing looks like Beau Bridges, the act.
I'll die. And I just couldn't go there. And I think, honestly, when I look at that moment, I think that also maybe even was the transition into sort of being fascinated with true crime. I was fascinated.
Okay, everybody. You're just going to have to imagine the look of incredulity on my face right now, okay? She wants you to believe that as a 7-year-old, she had an epiphany and realized she was the true crime queen. You are so full of shit, Lauren.
With true crime as a child, because
What?
You're a liar. You're a liar. I'm sorry, you are.
She was fascinated with true crime as a child?
That's what she said.
This just gets more disturbing.
I think true crime represented death and my fear of death.
What?
And the evil of humanity and what is real and
evil? You were in the 2nd grade. Evil of humanity.
We have this.
Excuse me. Could somebody call John Matthias, please? Really, John. John. You have a problem, John.
Safety and this comfort in God and heaven and being with our families forever and a plan and a purpose and we're special and it's
Wow, thank
all
you,
going to be
Canvas.
okay.
Oh, look, she barely just got look at the look on John DeLynne's face. Does he believe her story? Does John DeLynne, going by that look on his face, does John DeLynne believe that Lauren Matthias became the true crime queen as a 7-year-old? No, he doesn't believe it. He wants to laugh. Look what she snuck in there. Look at her words here. True crime represented death and my fear of death and the evil of humanity and safety and this comfort in God and heaven. We're special. Sorry, you're not, Lauren. You're not special. You're not. Nothing about you is special.
And we're protected.
And we're protected.
We just got 5 gifted cooterships from Camp Messica.
This is being mortal and someone could kill you tomorrow and it could all be gone.
7 years old. Someone could kill me tomorrow. This could all be gone. If you believe this, put a 1. No, I'm sorry. Put a picture of a turkey in the Tide chat. If you want to let Lauren know that she's full of shit or bullshit, put a 2. It's incredible.
And I remember the first show I started watching, it was like 7, 8, 9, was a show on TV called Rescue 911. People my age will remember it.
I remember that show.
You remember it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Before Unsolved Mysteries, there was Rescue 911. And, and also I think my mother was too busy.
No, bitch. Unsolved Mysteries came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're even talking about. She's saying that Rescue 911 came before Unsolved Miseries. No, Unsolved Miseries was there well before. Wowen. Thank you for 16 months as a cooter as well, Canvas. Thank you so much and enjoy your holiday. Close.
Yeah, my dad, he's an incredible musician and he taught my older brothers how to play music.
That's where Clark gets it.
Yes. Yeah. You know my brother Clark. And yeah, I have a very musical family. I'm the black sheep in many ways. That's one of them.
Okay. So
one of them. Okay. Well, so Daddy didn't teach her music, but taught the boys music, and the boys got to go have fun, but not the one lone girl. Okay. So these are Lauren's words, her own words. And it is, I think, impossible to believe that we could all be wrong. How is it possible that we all listen to this and we all look like John DeLynne and we're all sitting there going, huh? What? Throughout the whole interview, we haven't even finished this interview. We're not even halfway finished with this interview. But the point is clear, right? Well, yeah. So Braunforth, remember how I said, Lauren said her mother was so nurturing? She's just about to get to the part where she says that her mother stayed in bed all the time, that her mother wasn't available, or her mother was literally not around. Now, DB, that would be fun. We could ask her, tell your story of your family history again, and then we could all have a great time comparing the different versions, right? That'd be hilarious. But look at the look on her face. She knows she's full of shit. She knows she is presenting a version of how she wants to be, not the reality of what she is. She knows that. So right now, because she lives in a fantasy world, she's feeling all yummy and wonderful and has warm fuzzies because she's a brilliant, genius 7-year-old who's saying things that make the grown-ups in the room go, what? What? At 7? Huh? She thinks that she's convinced everyone that she really was that kid. She doesn't recognize that we're all looking at her in shock because we can't believe that she would lie to us this bad. Oh, well, there's that too, Bronforth. All right. So please, her grandma needs to paint a stained glass of Wowin's face right now on the screen. I don't know. I think they ought to put it in the tabernacle in Salt Lake City, right? Just one big ass, 50-foot stained glass mirror of Wowin's face. Legends have it. Legends have it that Wowin first made this face on Mormon Stories with John DeLynn. Oh my gosh, so crazy, isn't it? So crazy. All right. So I don't think I can do any more of this, really. You guys are troopers for getting through it this far, but it's pretty crazy. If you go and listen to the rest of it, it is crazy to see someone lie so purely and blatantly in your face. And look at her face. She looks like a little girl, doesn't she? She looks like a little child who's so proud of herself. But the truth is, it's all contrived. It's not real. But she's feeling good because for an instant, for a moment, she gets to be that exceptional child rather than the kid that everyone overlooked. Thank you, Crusher. You're a sweetheart. Thank you so much. Yeah, the face cream, that was its own holy crap moment, wasn't it, Sketty Nona? You're talking about the death of the innocence of 2 young women, and you follow them up with, oh, wait, we have an ad break. Buy my face cream. Even John uses it. Oh, it was awful. It was so awful. So awful. All right. Okay, you guys are wonderful and amazing, and thank you. And Rochelle Black, you have been a good friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for your super sticker. And let me tell you why. That $9.99 is going to be buying a bag of Huggies for twins. That's right. We are going to be broke. We are going to be diaper poor. That's right. There you go, Krisha. We got diapers to buy, people. It's going to take the whole community to keep those little babies with enough diapers. We're going to have 3 babies in diapers. 3. Okay, I'm going to need you guys. All right. Enough of that foolishness. Yeah, Blue Jay, my daughter is having twins. Twins. It's so exciting. So exciting. And I am just saying goodbye to my retirement. It's going to be gone. We got to do a fundraiser, Bronfolk, a Huggies fundraiser or Pampers or whatever your favorite diaper is. All I know is we're going to need a lot of them. Okay. So, yes, twins. We're so excited. I did have a photograph that I got approval from my daughter. So hold on, let me pull this picture up. 1 minute, please. Let me get to it. Come on. All right. Pictures. Where are my pictures? I had lots of pictures that I uploaded over Thanksgiving. Not Santa baby cookies. Where are they? December 2nd. Okay, that is, oh, I can show y'all that. Let me download it. And let me find the picture of me and my granddaughter. Not that picture. Hold on. Y'all just talk amongst yourselves. I think that was a video, so I'm not going to do video. There we go. I found it. Okay. Download. All right. Y'all are going to die when I show this to you. I know. So I'll just show you. Everybody in my family just cracked up laughing when they started looking at the pictures, and you'll see why. Hold on. Okay, let me share screen. Here it is right here. I don't know if you're looking at that. Hold on. Add to the states. What do you see? For some very strange reason, my granddaughter looks exactly like me. Weird stuff, right? Genetics is very strange. Even we even have the same hair, like the cowlick in our hair. It is pretty funny. So yeah, she has my eyes. Yep, we look just alike. Yep, same color hair, everything. She is adorable. She's precious. So cute. So yep, it's baby. All right, so genetics is powerful. So she's definitely my grandbaby. And then I have another picture here. Let me get it. Share screen. Go to the window. Oh, where did it go? Oh, I didn't download it. I thought I did. No, I didn't. Okay, hold on. I got to download it. I'm telling you, I'm just not very good at this technology stuff. I thought that I did open that picture. No, I guess I didn't. That's weird. All right, where is it? Is it that one? Yep, it's this one. All right. Share. Window. And look at that one. Yeah. Oh, I didn't add it to screen. Sorry. Uh-oh. There they are in all their glory. Yep. Twinsies. It's crazy, isn't it? Like you look at it and you're just like, wow, amazing. Really amazing. Yeah, there you go, DB. That's right. Yep. So, oh my, are you serious, Crusha? I had no idea that she did the whole half birthday. There's something very weird about name droppers. They also like make a huge deal of their own birthday. They're the ones that'll do like, oh, it's my birthday month. You know what I mean? Wow. Half birthday. Wow. That's unbelievable. Anyway, there they are, the little twinsies. So that is where your diaper contributions will be going to. Okay. Twin A and twin B. Okay. Soon they'll have names, but we don't know what the names are yet. Right now, they're twin A and twin B. Okay. So there we are, people. Thank you. Corruption is real. Thank you. She is so cute. Absolutely, Krisha. No, I'm absolutely excited to have a group of friends to share it with. It's very exciting. Oh, look at Kelly Lou. She's working the system. She was a preemie, so she does her actual birthday and then she does her due date birthday. Twice the present, half the price. There you go. It makes it real, Kelly. Oh yeah, it's real. My ex used to do that. Then he only called me after we split to wish me a happy birthday. 7 years together and not one happy birthday until you dumped his ass. You go, girl. Don't take that crap. Okay. All right, you guys. It's actually past my bedtime. So it wasn't related to parental illness, but other stuff. Happy to share, but a bit more complex and related to grief, being highly sensitive. Strawberry blonde. Yeah, it is. Thank you, Ancient Teapot. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Can I invite you to subscribe to the channel if you have not already? The twins will need that income from your subscription. Okay. I don't mean membership. I mean just hit the little like bell, and that's all you got to do. And then I'll get a couple of pennies from Google. And we will have a diaper drive. I think that'll be a hoot. I think that'll be loads of fun to do a diaper drive. And thank you so much, Teapot, for subscribing. Thank you. I appreciate it. And Rochelle Black, you have been a great friend to the channel. And Diane, you're true blue. And I appreciate you more than you know. So thank you so much. Sounds like Lauren, now that you mentioned it, she was a doozy. Her poor ex-husband dodged a bullet. Right? That was a crazy story. Can you imagine your husband loading you up in the car and saying, just kidding, taking you to the airport? That is a good sign that, there's trouble in paradise, right? Okay. We are not doing cloth nappies. I am not going to dunk a dirty diaper. Ain't happening. Not me. All right. She does. I agree, Bronforth. Yeah, it's time to take a break and, get your feet on the ground and get some mental health and feel good about the life you have. That's right. All right. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being my friends and listening to me brag about twins that I don't have to carry, may I add. And I will see you another day. It's probably going to be Saturday before I'll get back here, okay? But I'm sure something will outrage me before then. I'll be back. Crush it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. Y'all, you know what? Have a great evening. Talk to you later.
Woke up at dawn with the pelicans in flight.
Coffee brewing strong by dawn's early light. Waves whisper secrets to my open heart. The life around this water gets me off to a great start. Parrots wild, squawking loud in the old palm tree. Dolphin smiles, brighter than the Texas sun on me. We chase simple dreams, nothing fancy or grand, just honest days in this promised land. God gives rainbow horizons to those in this happy lane. Diamonds dancing on the waves, back sparkling again. Honest living, a pursuit of peace, family ties and the happiness we seek. Love, forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. The rainbow horizons calling to me. Living each moment, giving truth from the heart. No deceptions woven, no false starts. It goes like a front porch swaying in the ocean breeze. Watching the sunset fade away with pink and blue ease. Teach the young ones right from wrong with care. Hold them close when the world's unfair. In this Gulf Coast life we find our way, building memories that never stray. Oh, rainbow horizons after the rain. Diamonds dancing on the waves back again. Honest living in pursuit of peace. Family ties and the happiness we see. Love, forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons calling to me. When the night falls quiet and stars shine bright, I thank the Lord for this humble light, for the flag that waves and the grace from above, filling our hearts with endless love. No riches compared to the peace we found